107 For construction. When off-site sources are used, the contractor must comply with all federal, state, county, city, and local laws, ordinances, and regulations pertaining to the work included in this item and demonstrate to the city that all applicable permits, contracts, or other legal documentation are in place prior to use of the off-site borrow source. To allow for required testing, notify the engineer before opening a material source. Complete preparation of the right-of-way, in accordance with item 101, preparing right-of-way, for areas to receive embankment. Backfill tree stump holes or other minor excavations with approved material and tamp. Restore the ground surface, including any material disked loose or washed out, to its original slope. Compact the ground surface by sprinkling in accordance with TXDOT item 204, sprinkling and by rolling using equipment complying with item 210, rolling, when directed. Scarify and loosen the unpaved surface areas, except rock, to a depth of at least 6 inches, unless otherwise shown on the plans. Bench slopes before placing material. Begin placement of material at the toe of slopes. Do not place trees, stumps, roots, vegetation, or other objectionable material in the embankment. Simultaneously recompact scarified material with the placed embankment material. Do not exceed the layer depth specified in section 107(3)d, compaction methods. Construct embankments to the grade and sections shown on the plans. Construct the embankment in layers approximately parallel to the finished grade for the full width of the individual roadway cross sections, unless otherwise shown on the plans. Ensure that each section of the embankment conforms to the detailed sections or slopes. Maintain the finished section, density, and grade until the project is accepted. A. Earth embankments. Earth embankment is mainly composed of material other than rock. Construct embankments in successive layers, evenly distributing materials in length suited for sprinkling and rolling. Obtain approval to incorporate rock and broken concrete produced by the construction project in the lower layers of the embankment. When the size of approved rock or broken concrete exceeds the layer thickness requirements in section 107(3)d, compaction methods, place the rock and concrete outside the limits of the completed roadbed. Cut and remove all exposed reinforcing steel from the broken concrete. Move the material dumped in piles or windrows by belading or by similar methods and incorporate it into uniform layers. Feather edge or mix abutting layers of dissimilar material for at least 100 feet to ensure there are no abrupt changes in the material. Break down clods or lumps of material and mix embankment until a uniform material is attained. Apply water free of industrial wastes and other objectionable matter to achieve the uniform moisture content specified for compaction. When ordinary compaction is specified, roll and sprinkle each embankment layer in accordance with section 107(3)d. 1. Ordinary compaction. When density control is specified, compact the layer to the required density in accordance with section 107(3)d. 2. Density control. When rock and broken concrete are allowed in lower layers of earth embankments, proof roll these layers as directed where density testing is not possible, in accordance with TXDOT item 216, proof rolling to ensure proper compaction. B. Rock embankments. Rock embankment is mainly composed of rock. Construct rock embankments in successive layers for the full width of the roadway cross-section with a depth of 18 inches or less. Increase the layer depth for large rock sizes as approved. Do not exceed a depth of 2½ feet in any case. Fill voids created by the large stone matrix with smaller stones during the placement and filling operations. Ensure the depth of the embankment layer is greater than the maximum dimension of any rock. Do not place rock greater than 2 feet in its maximum dimension, unless otherwise approved. Construct the final layer with graded material so that the density and uniformity is in accordance with section 107(3)d, compaction methods. Break up exposed oversized material as approved. When ordinary compaction is specified, roll and sprinkle each embankment layer in accordance with Section 1073D. 1. Ordinary compaction. When density control is specified, compact each layer to the required density in accordance with Section 1073D. 2. Density control. When directed, proof roll each rock layer where density testing is not possible, in accordance with TXDOT Item 216, proof rolling to ensure proper compaction. C. Embankments adjacent to culverts and bridges. Compact embankments adjacent to culverts and bridges in accordance with Item 106, box culvert excavation and backfilling. D. Compaction methods. Begin rolling longitudinally at the sides and proceed toward the center, overlapping on successive trips by at least 1/2 the width of the roller. On super elevated curves, begin rolling at the lower side and progress toward the high side. Alternate roller trips to attain slightly different lengths. Compact embankments in accordance with one of the following methods as shown on the plans. 1. Ordinary compaction. Use approved rolling equipment complying with Item 210, rolling, to compact each layer. The plans or the engineer may require specific equipment. Do not allow the loose depth of any layer to exceed 12 inches, unless otherwise approved. Before and during rolling operations, bring each layer to the moisture content directed. Compact each layer until there is no evidence of further consolidation. Maintain a level layer to ensure uniform compaction. If the required stability or finish is lost for any reason, reco-impact and refinish the subgrade at no additional expense to the city. 2. Density control. Compact each layer to the required density using equipment complying with Item 210, rolling. Determine the maximum lift thickness based on the ability of the compacting operation and equipment to meet the required density. Do not exceed layer thickness of 12 inches loose material, unless otherwise approved. Maintain a level layer to ensure uniform compaction. The engineer will use TXDOT Standard Laboratory Test Procedure TEX 114E to determine the maximum dry density, DA, and optimum moisture content, WOPT. Meet the requirements for field density and moisture content in Table 2, unless otherwise shown on the plans. Table 2 Field Density Control Requirements Description Density Moisture Content TEX 115E pi equals 15 equals 98% to 15 pi equals 35 equals 98% to and equals 102% to equals WOPT. Pi 35 equals 95% to and equals 100% to equals WOPT. Each layer is subject to testing by the engineer for density and moisture content. During compaction, the moisture content of the soil should not exceed the value shown on the moisture density curve, above optimum, required to achieve 98% dry density for soils with a pi greater than 15 but less than or equal to 35 or 95% dry density for soils with pi greater than 35 when required. Remove small areas of the layer to allow for density tests. Replace the removed material and reco-impact at no additional expense to the city. Proof roll in accordance with TXDOT Item 216, proof rolling, when shown on the plans or as directed. Correct soft spots as directed. E. Maintenance of moisture and reworking. Maintain the density and moisture content once all requirements in Table 2 are met. For soils with a pi greater than 15, maintain the moisture content no lower than 4 percentage points below optimum. Rework the material to obtain the specified compaction when the material loses the required stability, density, moisture, or finish. Alter the compaction methods and procedures on subsequent work to obtain specified density as directed. F. Acceptance criteria. 1. Grade tolerances. A. Staged construction. Grade to within 0.1 foot in the cross-section and 0.1 foot in 16 feet measured longitudinally. B. Turnkey construction. Grade to within 1/2 inch in the cross-section and 1/2 inch in 16 feet measured longitudinally. 2. Gradation tolerances. When gradation requirements are shown on the plans, material is acceptable when not more than one of the 5 most recent gradation tests is outside the specified limits on any individual sieve by more than 5 percentage points. 3. Density tolerances. Compaction work is acceptable when not more than one of the 5 most recent density tests is outside the specified density limits, and no test is outside the limits by more than 3 pounds per cubic foot. 4. Plasticity tolerances. Material is acceptable when not more than one of the 5 most recent pi tests is outside the specified limit by no more than 2 points. 107. 5. Measurement. Embankment will be measured by the cubic yard. Measurement will be further defined for payment as follows. A. Final. The cubic yard will be measured in its final position using the average end area method. The volume is computed between the original ground surface or the surface upon which the embankment is to be constructed and the lines, grades, and slopes of the embankment. In areas of salvaged topsoil, payment for embankment will be made in accordance with TXDOT Item 160, topsoil. Shrinkage or swell factors will not be considered in determining the calculated quantities. B. Original. The cubic yard will be measured in its original and natural position using the average end area method. C. Vehicle. The cubic yard will be measured in vehicles at the point of delivery. When measured by the cubic yard in its final position, this is a plan's quantity measurement item. The quantity to be paid is the quantity shown in the proposal, unless modified by change order. Additional measurements or calculations will be made if adjustments of quantities are required. Shrinkage or swell factors are the contractor's responsibility. When shown on the plans, factors are for informational purposes only. Measurement of retaining wall backfill in embankment areas is paid for as embankment, unless otherwise shown on plans. Limits of measurement for embankment in retaining wall areas are shown on the plans.